Good afternoon, Pool Player Nation. Welcome back to Orlando, Florida for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship presented by APA, and our coverage brought to you by our good friends at PoolDog.com. I'm your host, Jason Bowman. I'm joined by Team USA Mosconi Cup captain Jeremy Jones. Jeremy, we're down to the final three here in Orlando. We've got a semifinal match on tap. One player will advance to the championship. One will exit the tournament in third place.
Yeah, one coming off a loss, one coming off a win, and a rematch from earlier this morning. You got to love those. It's going to be exciting.
Absolutely. Let's take a quick look at the format for the U.S. Amateur Championship. Of course, the Open Division is a double elimination race to 7, 5 games of 8-ball up to 8 games of 9-ball. The winner of the lag can opt to choose the format or the break. And our semifinal match here is going to feature Brett Stottlemyer of Pasadena, Maryland versus defending champion Jacob Watson of Tyler, Texas. Both players have suffered a loss now in the tournament. So again, one will be exiting, one will move on to face Joshua Watson in the championship final. So the players are ready to go. Let's take you down into the pit and get this match underway. It was Brett Stottlemyer winning the lag, opting to take the break. Jacob Watson choosing the 8-ball format. So again, we'll see 5 games of 8-ball before we switch over to the 9-ball set. Mr. Stottlemyer, based on what we've seen today, Jeremy, looked very good here on the streaming table. 10:30 round this morning, followed it up with a victory over James Adams.
Yeah, he suffered his first loss of the tournament this morning, again against his opponent here in the semifinal. Breaking from the side rail, head-on break. The front ball instead of the second ball. Pretty nice opening, even though he didn't drop any. Jacob looks like he's going to take the stripes. Both have a little bit of problems, but not too much with the stripes. Now looking at maybe a 12-9 combination.
Interesting how Jacob likes to carry that extension in his pocket while he plays. I've noticed that. Would that bother you if you were shooting? He likes to keep that kind of close to his side there.
No, I don't think it would bother me too much. I'm trying to think of something that wants a little bump. Ooh, did it get any better though? Wouldn't want to go into those with too much speed, but I thought maybe a little more speed if he did decide to bump him. I think the 12 does play in the side once the 15's gone.
Again, Jacob, the defending U.S. Amateur champion.
May draw into the 7 and the 12 here. Miscue at the worst time.
You could hear it.
Yeah. And interesting, though, he's cut him off on a lot of shots here. The 2 doesn't go by the 1. I'm not sure if he can get at the pink 4. It looks like he can. If he can, I like him coming across into that 7 now. I'm not sure if the 7 will play by the 6 when the 6 is gone. This looks very natural to me. And hard not to come away with a shot, really. Doesn't have to hit it very hard. Yeah, I like that. I like that. And really what Brett's shown us today on the 8-ball side of things has been nothing short of spectacular, really. And man who won our hot seed match, Josh Watson, also very good on the 8-ball side.
Josh Watson will await the winner of this match.
Yeah, and he's in a great spot, of course, winning that winner's side, but one race final, but it is extended. He's got to feel great about that.
Yep, the championship will be a race to 11. Single elimination.
Now, I may have looked at the 7 here just because he's pretty good on it. Just come over for the 6 and then end the rack with the last 3 balls up the table near the 8. Not so sure it was the right shot, but I would have had at least a little look at it. He can come up above the 12 here. He can go into the 12. Either's okay. Nothing with too much speed. Oh, he put a little inside and checked the cue ball.
Again, this is Brett Stottlemyer. He's out of Pasadena, Maryland. Both these players regulars on the U.S. Amateur Championship circuit.
Okay, he could just pinch this out for a little bit of a shot. Going forward, he's worried about the 9. Drawing the ball, he could cheat the pocket, but could come directly into the back of that 12 and get snookered. So and then decide to move it a bit. He's going to love this. A little stretched. Oh, already shown us plenty of cue power, so can draw this ball one rail over for the 8 in the side. You can see maybe a little bit of the nerves going to start this match. Overhit the ball a couple times. And now demanding 8 ball in the side. Cue ball near the rail.
Brett Stottlemyer strikes first, takes a 1-0 lead in this race to 7. He will have the break when we return in just a few moments. All right, welcome back to continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Brett Stottlemyer at the table here. Continuing to find the right spot for that break.
Yeah, changing it up a little bit. I like this. Going head on.
Couple balls there on the break.
Yeah,
Both high balls.
That's right. And look how friendly they are laying the high balls all up table there besides an easy starter on the 10. He checked real quick to see if the 8 passed. It does. Probably the easiest layout I've seen all week for 8 ball. Not only the first shot, but just all the work behind it.
Yeah, as Jeremy mentioned, these two squared off earlier today. Jacob getting the better of Brett 7-5 in that match. So it was a tight one.
Yeah, I talked to Brett shortly after that finish, and he said he had his chances. When he made the comment, he's just not a morning match kind of player.
Well, he looked very good in his follow-up match. So has not slowed down since.
Oh, he's really got all the tools, and one of the big ones in these tournaments is between the ears. Really done well with his pattern play and some decisions. This one may hurt.
Watch out.
Oh, my. And these are big games, not only to get, of course, some change in the score in your favor, but you have a layout like this, and if you don't get out, it can really hurt mentally going forward in the match. Well, nice stroke there. Flirting with that corner pocket.
All right. Mr. Stottlemyer takes a 2-0 lead in this race to 7. We'll prepare for the next rack, and while we do that, we're going to hear a quick word from our sponsors. We're back here in Orlando, continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Brett Stottlemyer with his third break of the match. See if he found something that last rack, Jeremy. Going from the same spot. It's the 2 on the break. And follows it in with the cue ball.
Yeah, nasty kiss on the cue ball. It was going to be tough for Brett anyways because the cue ball got knocked up there and going to be limited shots, but certainly didn't want the scratch. Like Jacob's going to take the little ones. Trying to see, I'd like to get on the 1 as soon as possible. Take care of the 5. The 5 goes in the side though as well, but it's kind of hard to get in position to where you're not falling away from everything else. Okay, so now probably playing the 3-1-5-7. Wants to fall nice and straight on the 1. Then he can hold for the 5 in the opposite side pocket. And he's coming over for the 7. So like I said, can he really get on the 5 properly to get on the 1? He may have to stun across and get on the 1 anyways. Because again, I mean, where are you going to go? You have to come across the top of the 13 ball, which is near the spot, to get kind of straightish on the 5. You can always bump the 1 a little bit, but I'm really looking coming across here and playing the 1 and then the 5 last.
I think that's the first time I've heard you say straightish the entire tournament.
Well, must be off my game a little bit then. Okay, he's going to come between the 15 and 5 here. Nice shot. Gained a little bit of an angle. It looks like he can stun lightly by the 15 if he wants. If there's any doubt, he may do something else, but maybe stay in that gap. Okay, he could get by it easily. Now, should be on the board here in this semifinal.
Jacob Watson picks up that rack, now trails 2-1 in this race to 7, and he will have his first break of the match when we return in just a few moments. We're back here at the U.S. Amateur Championship in Orlando, Florida. Defending champion Jacob Watson now on the board, trails by 1 game. He's got the break here. 4th game of the 8-ball set.
Cue ball. Ouch.
The 1's going to knock it in. Well, we talked about it last match. It's the one flaw that we've seen today, really, from Jacob, is his break has just not been working.
Yeah, a few times. Actually, the one time he did make balls in the last set is when he kind of mishit the one a little bit. Yeah, this is difficult here just because of the 5-ball, really.
Jeremy, at what point in a tournament, if you're playing, do you make an adjustment to your break? I know that's you just stick with it and stick with it and stick with it, or you just.
Well, no, I'm not stubborn. I'll change,
Okay.
but you got to evaluate also. Did I hit him how I wanted? If you do that 2 or 3 times, you can't be stubborn to try and make a change. Oh, look at this great shot here he's played here to get on the 2 to come maybe 3 rails to get short side on the 5. He should take a chance here. He may just come 1 rail across. But either way, he's got to try and get on the 5 here. Again, Brett has shown me a ton of 8-ball experience. But yeah, Jason, you got to look at a few things. If you're hitting them well, you got to pay attention to where your opponent's breaking. Is he getting some results from a certain area? Or she, rather?
Well, we've seen Brett make an adjustment to his break.
Yeah.
I don't know that we've seen Jacob deviate just yet.
Well, I think speed is the main thing also. Or let's say that's an adjustment that's overlooked. A lot of people think it's just all out all the time. You should have different speeds on the break. I think we saw that with Josh. I think Josh wasn't hitting him quite as hard as Jacob and Brett and some other players, and he's done as well as anyone on this table all week.
That
I think,
we've
on the
seen,
break.
yeah, for sure.
All right, making another nice out here. Of course, ball in hand didn't hurt, but it was not easy. All right, could draw up for the corner. Could come over for the side, either. I'll tell you, the 8-ball is the limited side of things between the 8 and 9-ball in these sessions. But if you're winning a nice percentage of the games in 8-ball, that carries big weight in winning these matches.
No problem there. Brett Stottlemyer pockets the 8, takes a 3-1 lead in this race to 7. We'll have one more game of 8-ball when we come back in just a few moments. All right, welcome back, folks, to Orlando, Florida. Continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship 2023. Brett Stottlemyer at the table here. This will be the 5th and final game of the 8-ball set. Brett leading 3 games to 1. Cue ball was heading to that top corner, and Brett just went ahead and grabbed it and handed it to Jacob.
Looks like he played a probably good third base as well, huh?
Quick reflexes.
Yeah, just snagged that one, knowing where it was going.
So no balls pocketed on the break, other than what would have been the cue ball.
Yeah, it's really kind of deja vu from what we saw Jacob with the scratch. Very demanding run out here. Very difficult with and not only that, they're difficult because the real problem is that 5 and 12 maybe. And that's in the kitchen, so he can't get to that first. He's got to shoot outside kitchen area. So I'm not sure why it's called the kitchen, how that ever came up, but
it's a good question.
It looks like the 12 actually plays, so a big shot here on the 9. So if the 12 played, I think I would have went down and opened up the 14, really, just because I don't think the 10 passes the 14, so he needs to remove the 14 to get access to the 10. Now, is he going into these balls? Does he have to go into the 13-5? Or the 12-5, rather? Oh, caught it a little thick. Yeah, I was wondering. I think he's still got a pocketable 12 ball. But again, he's got to get at the 14, I think, to open up the 10. Maybe the 10 does play by the 14. It's close, and that camera angle shows us it probably does. But I'll tell you, if you're waiting on the 12 for last, that could be an issue. You're going to shoot the 12 next. How do you get from the 12 to the 10? So he's got to get shape on the 10 now, I think. Nice shot. He's going to get a little below it, though, so maybe holding for the 14 becomes difficult. And now another situation.
All right, this is interesting, Jeremy. The term the kitchen came from when people used to have pool tables at home. Typically, the dining room would be the only room in the home big enough to fit the table. So people would typically be standing in the kitchen literally when breaking. Mm-hmm. Now, that is what one person on Facebook has said. So, well, but it sounds like a good explanation.
It's hard to make that up so quickly anyway.
Yeah.
So I like that. I'll go with that.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Tyler Hess with that explanation.
Yeah. Okay, getting close to this will help tremendously, but I still am trying to figure out the route to get to this. I think it's the 14. It could be the 10 that's just below the 4. So he's got to come around the 3, so he can't get very close to this at all. He's hitting high ball, and I'm not sure between the 6-3 with the cue ball. Watch outside pocket. Oh, he's coming at it. He's going to need a friendly bump, and I think he's going to get it. Wow. Well, 8-ball's designed that like that, though. You have to gamble sometimes, and the gamble paid off here for Jacob Watson.
Jacob pockets the 8-ball, pulls within 1 game again of Brett Stottlemyer. That is the final game of the 8-ball set. We'll move to the 9-ball portion of the match here momentarily after we hear a quick word from our sponsors. Welcome back to continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Defending champion Jacob Watson has the break here in the 9-ball set, now trailing by just one game to Brett Stottlemyer, who is seated behind him.
Yeah, he was debating changing positions on the break, decided maybe to give it one more go here.
Still nothing doing on the break.
And this one's going to bounce up for a good shot to get started for Brett. Just like, when you're out on the table trying to make a decision, sometimes you got to go with your gut. I think his gut was telling him to change positions on the break shot. Didn't happen. Now maybe hoping or wondering when he's going to get back to make another decision. A little bump on the 3 hurt things for Brett. Got him over the 3 a little bit. Limited options on the 3. And got him a little flat on the 2. So he's going to have to work the cue ball for the 3 in the side, avoiding some traffic. Might see the jump cue here. I think he may have an edge of the 3, but I'm not sure what he can do with it. This is a kick shot I'd like to have the referee right on top of, but I think he's going to hit it with a mild pace. Oh, just a miss you wouldn't expect there from Jacob. And that's happened to him a couple times over the last couple days that I've seen, just a miss that you just didn't expect. Now options here, you can go behind the 8, making the 4 away, or he's close enough to it to edge it like he's going to do here, trying to control the 4 as he comes back down. Boy, that was thin. 4 ball just rocked over a few inches. Would have been pretty good. Cue ball caught the point. And Jacob's going to float behind the 8 as he sends the 4 just past the side, trying to use the 8 and the 5. Really nice. Looks like Brett's going to go the air here on the 4.
Ball in hand to Jacob, yeah.
He's wondering how he went around that 4. He wasn't trying to kick behind it, but still imagining or curious is there enough space to really go around it?
Jacob Watson trying to draw even in this match at 3 games apiece.
Okay, he could go rail first and spin around to the center of the table. He could draw the ball. Should swing this a couple rails around the 9. He went forward. Nice shot. One thing I've been so impressed with all the players here at the U.S. Amateurs is they continually keep swinging, right? They're not tentative. Even if they miss a ball or two, they keep at it.
Jacob Watson keeps at it there, pockets that 9 in the corner, ties this match up at 3 games apiece in this race to 7. And he will have the break when we return in just a few moments.
Every loss is a very valuable lesson that I have taken and utilized from my mistakes to make a better person and a better player of myself and others.
I want to make a shout out to Leo, Jose. Without these guys, man, we all did it as a team, you know.
Jose, holy smokes, I feel bad for him.
Loud in here, folks.
I think so.
Another opportunity for Jose Salas to finish this match off for the World Championship.
And there it is.
There you go, folks. The
Fantastic.
Scorpions, Joliet, Illinois. They are the 2020-2021 APA World 8-Ball Champions.
Thank you. First of all, I want to say thank you, God.
Thanks, God.
Thank you, APA. And thanks to all my friends, my family, mis amigos, mi familia.
And we
our
were on a
friends.
mission together as a team, and we became a family. Be consistent, practice, and always listen to the master players, the better shooters. They will guide you and they will lead you. My husband has led me, and I have led him and taught him things.
I also want to say right now, because my kids are watching, Junior, Daniel, we did it, baby. Number 1, baby, long shots. We did it. Daniel, look at Daddy's trophy.
This is Jonathan Neiman at the table, or as some have affectionately referred to him, the Mullet Man.
And he did tell me that he's going to cut it all off if he wins today.
Really?
So, oh, yeah.
And he's got it. Jonathan Neiman, Wilmington, North Carolina, your 8-ball classic champion in the red tier, folks.
How's my hair looking?
Your hair is looking good. In fact, I believe Ava and Jason were talking about it, that if you won, you were going to cut it.
I did say that. I did say that.
It's so worth it.
And this is really going to help your game tremendously and truly put you to the next skill level. Hey guys, I'm Fernando Kohler, also known as Venom. I'm a professional pool trick shot artist, but also a league operator for APA in Las Vegas. There we go.
All right, after a short break here at the U.S. Amateur Championship, we are back here in Orlando, Florida. Jacob Watson will have the break after evening this match up at 3 games apiece.
Well, he's going back to that side rail. It's been constantly a dry break from there for him in both the matches today, really. Maybe change the speed a little bit. Yeah, he did. He cut him a little bit as well. Didn't hit him head on. Made 2 on the break.
On the break, yeah.
Difficult 4-ball near the side rail in the side pocket, but the 2 will be removed in a moment. So getting to that 3, from the 3 to the 4, maybe not as tough as it appears. All right. Now decision time. Got a little thinner here than he probably wanted. Now it's a little harder to stay for the 3 in the same corner as the 2. May go back and forth, but that's going to make it harder to get on the 4, especially if he lands on the rail. So all these little things make a huge difference in making the run out. Now he's going to have to show us something. Again, that stemmed from that first shot, getting a bit thinner on the 2 than desired, especially off a pretty routine 1-ball. Beautiful stroke there, but going to end up a little short of his mark. Might have the edge, but I don't think so. I gotta believe he's debating tying up the 6 and 4. That's why I was looking in that direction. Our camera shows he really can't get at the pink 4. So a couple ways to shoot this. Of course, go all out with some speed. Could lag it. I didn't expect him to miss the whole ball, though.
Brett Stottlemyer will have ball in hand here.
Yeah, and that hurts for Jacob because he finally got the break going a little bit there. And I feel like with these top guns that once they get the break going, they get going even more so. And you know, I'm surprised he came out for the side. That's going to take him a little bit away from the 7. Could have just came out for the 6 in the upper corner, like straight, and then had a stop shot on the 6, but he'll just knock this in lightly.
Stottlemyer finishes off the rack, regains the lead at 4-3, and he will have the break when we return in just a few moments. All right, welcome back, folks. Continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. Brett Stottlemyer once again repositioning for his break. Now with a 4-3 lead. The 9-ball moving. Pockets the 1 in that corner.
Yeah, and a big shot on the 2 here. Got a nice angle to just get between that gap on the 5 and 8. This is one you can't gauge so much. You just got to kind of trust the stroke. Yeah, really nice. Actually drew between the 8 and 9, taking away even more of the problem. Or let's say what could have been a problem.
And somewhere, Josh Watson awaits the winner of this match.
Yeah, now a perfect angle to come up for the 5 in the side. He can draw it without hitting a cushion, or he can hit right before the side. Make sure you don't lose the cue ball. Oh boy, this has really gone off in his hand a bit. This may go all the way to the corner. Wow.
Yep. And Jacob Watson will have ball in hand now.
Yeah, that one missed by some 2 or 3 feet. So as he sits in his chair and probably watches Jacob clear these, he's got to regroup, that being Brett.
And once again, Jacob Watson evens the score, now 4-4 in this race to 7. And he will have the break when we return in just a few moments. Back in Orlando with coverage of this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. The defending champion, Jacob Watson, tied at 4 with Brett Stottlemyer. Jacob preparing for the break here. Would love to take his first lead of the match.
See if he plays the cut break, maybe a hair less speed again.
9-ball moving. 9 balls down, Jeremy. That game goes to Jacob Watson. Now with a 5-4 lead. And a little bit of a smile on Mr. Watson's face.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're going to stick right here, folks, as we prepare this next rack. Boy, just like that, things have turned around a little bit. Jacob Watson now with the advantage here in Orlando.
Yeah, full punishment for Brett there after that mistake with the scratch, after making some nice shots to open.
We'll see if Jacob can find that same spot, that same speed.
Yeah, I think what you said right there is key. He's taking a little speed off, and the rack has reacted nicely.
Is he going to do it again, Jeremy? Not quite, but he had that 9-ball moving. He does, however, pocket a ball on the break again, which was really the kind of his kryptonite today, the one thing that he's struggling with his break, and now it seems to be working. See if he can extend his lead.
And he may go after the 9 here. No, it's, again, one of those things you say you don't do this, but when you feel good about it, why not? No one has a better view than Brett. A little off. If he hits it more speed, maybe.
Brett Stottlemyer back to the table. While he surveys things, I want to give a shout out to our friends at PoolDog.com. They are our presenting sponsor of all of our U.S. Amateur Championship coverage this year. If you like what you've been seeing, go to their website, PoolDog.com, order their free catalog, costs you nothing. Lets them know how much you folks appreciate their support of our coverage here in Orlando. Safety there by Brett.
Yeah, a little lighter than he wanted. He wanted behind the 4. I think he was worried about the 1 leaking out, so he just chips the right side of this one as he moves the cue ball up table. Key to this shot is it may leak out. Make sure you get the cue ball to that rail. That way, if it does leak, hard for Brett to get position. Oh, he decided to play it on the lighter side. Now, Brett's got to be very careful if he cross-banks this ball over and runs the cue ball with the 9-ball near the corner pocket here. Got to double bank this below the 4. You run the cue ball 1 rail towards the 3. Oh, 9-ball. Ooh.
Jacob back to the table now. Things have been quite interesting the last few minutes down in that lower corner with the 9.
Yeah, he's a one good draw stroke away from getting himself in position to get to the hill. He's got some work, but this is the shot, really. Cut the 1 a little bit. He's going to need a little luck here. This 2-ball has escaped, and it's opened up for Brett. He needs to come 2 rails. Put the 6 in the side. Real natural here. Maybe a hair of left English. He's going to drop maybe on the bottom cushion. Shouldn't affect pocketing the 6. But we'll see. If he lands near the rail with the cue ball on the 8. Maybe that's the effect here. Oh, nice shot. Good decision. Go ahead and let the stroke out a little bit. Neither one of these players giving in, Jason.
Brett Stottlemyer pockets the 9, and we are once again even, folks. 5 games apiece now. Getting our money's worth in this semifinal match. Stottlemyer will have the break when we return in just a few moments. Welcome back to Orlando for continuing coverage of the 2023 U.S. Amateur Championship. Brett Stottlemyer out of Pasadena, Maryland at the table.
Yeah, taking a page out of his opponent's books, changing to the other side rail. A little action on the 9. What about the 1-9? Is the 2 going to get in the way? Oh, it's a dry break. I thought he made one.
A little frustration there for Brett, and you can see the excitement for Jacob Watson, recognizing the potential of the 1-9 in the corner, the chance to move to the hill. And he nails it. 1-9 goes. Jacob Watson now needing one more rack. We're going to stick right here, folks. Brett Stottlemyer will prepare that rack. Jacob will try to find that spot one more time.
Yeah, and all of a sudden, the last 3 or 4 games, that 9's moved towards that lower corner.
Lower pocket, there's been a lot of interesting moments down there, no doubt. Jacob Watson will have the break. Looking for a chance to make it to the final, to defend that title. See if he can get the 9 ball moving again.
Yeah, and you can't take away from Jacob at all, hanging tough in this match, but he goes on to win it.
He's got the 9 moving with the
6 ball?
8 ball. Slowed it down. Nothing down.
Yeah, but if he does go on to win it, I was going to say you can look back at when it was 4-3 Stottlemyer, and in position to run out and take a 2-game lead and overhit the ball by some piece and scratched. So he's got to leave that behind, and I didn't know he could get at this. I think he came away with a shot here.
Cannot pocket the 2. Like some traffic there.
Yeah, a bunch of traffic, but not a bad kick shot. Not the worst swerve shot in the world with the 2-6 there, but kind of like the kick myself. Get a little more speed on it. Now again, don't try to get like silly accurate here. Make this hit. You got a lot of ways to make the 6. Yeah. I think tried to get it maybe just to be a little too accurate there. I mean, you could double kiss the 6 in. You could fluke safety. You could cut the 6 in naturally. A lot of good things can happen with a hit there.
Ball in hand to Brett Stottlemyer. See if he can run out this rack and put himself on the hill.
I thought he might set this up with a hair more angle, just to bring the cue ball up a little higher. Oh, he's okay. He cut the 2 quite a bit to bring the cue ball up.
We had one hill match yesterday. It's the only one we've had last few days.
And we're talking about the stream, ladies and gentlemen. Of course, there's been tons of hill throughout. Oh, he caught the 7. This could really hurt. Wow. Maybe a little fortunate to come away with a shot there. So this is, I think, taken in the side. So anytime it's thin, again, the speed control is the most demanding.
Jacob back to the table.
Yeah, and he's got a cross bank that sits pretty nice. He'd have to maybe draw the cue ball over towards the 7 for position, but I didn't know he could hold right there. I mean, if he can hold right there, he's certainly got to take on this bank. And maybe not recognizing he can draw back towards the 7 on this bank shot as well. It looks like he's playing the safety now. 9 ball? No. Kind of like the soft kick here. Keep accuracy on the kick itself. You got a lot of little things with the 8 and 9 there. I think you got a lot of good things that can happen with the soft kick. Well, that'll do. Great hit. He hit that as well as he could. And I don't think he can kick to the long rail here behind the 3. I think the 9's got him jammed up. Maybe the jump cue here. I think he got the snooker. Or somewhat anyways. Guys having fun out there. I think maybe he can go rail first and kind of come across the 3, clip it. Trying to send the 3 to the side rail and then to the top rail and let the cue ball run. He's more snookered than I thought. He's looking at this kick shot.
All right, now a good chance for Brett Stottlemyer to even this match up and send us to a hill finale.
All right, looks like just a few stop shots. 4 in the corner, 7 in the side. Probably plays the 8 in the side as well. Could follow out, depending on the angle he has here. Well, I wouldn't say he got on the proper side of the 8, so maybe has to make a little more of a shot on the 9.
And the 9 ball falls for Brett Stottlemyer. And folks, we are deadlocked at 6 in this race to 7. Both players on the hill. Who will it be? Defending champ Jacob Watson or the challenger Brett Stottlemyer? We'll find out when we come back here in just a few moments. All right, welcome back, folks. Continuing coverage of the U.S. Amateur Championship. And if you tuned in looking for high drama, this match, this semifinal match, has certainly delivered. 6-6. Brett Stottlemyer with the break in this race to 7. Powerful break. Got 1 ball down.
Certainly does. And
3 ball.
I don't know if he can cut the 1 or not. I think it is cuttable. It's a mean stretch.
Nice show of sportsmanship before this final rack between these two as they shook hands.
Yeah,
leave it all on the table.
They've been enjoying it.
1 ball dropped.
Yeah, and he's going to have to take some distance on the 4. He'd love to get the cue ball kind of where it's at now, somewhat. Then he'll make a decision from there on the 5. First things first, get on that 4. Got a little angle to come 1 rail across. He got a little angle now. He can cheat this and come out for the 5 in the same corner. It appears so anyways. Jacob Watson, a little drop of the head there, knows that it was probably the positional play that put Brett in position to take down the semifinal. Ooh, little bump on the 6 there. So now things have changed dramatically. Can't just draw across easily with the 9 being there. So he may have to go with a little low and right English to run the cue ball. If he does that, he could be running 3 rails on top of the 7 and 8. Oh, this looks good for the 7 in the side. What a recovery.
Big shot there by Brett Stottlemyer with the pressure on.
Yeah, and the overhead says that he can pinch this and hold for the 8 in the same side pocket. All right, a little high, maybe a hair right English. Just roll your ball to the top rail and down. It's been good on this table so far. It looks like he's going to have one more match.
It's going to be a big one. He can pocket this 9. Rattled
Squeezed it
just a
home.
bit. Brett Stottlemyer has eliminated the defending champ Jacob Watson in a hill thriller, folks. Great match there by both of these players. Congratulations to Jacob Watson on a very successful title defense. He will finish in 3rd place in this year's U.S. Amateur Championship. And Mr. Stottlemyer will now move on to face Joshua Watson in our championship final, which we will have in just a few minutes here in Orlando. Make sure you guys come back and check out that great match. For now, we appreciate you all tuning in.